Dave Gardy here, back at our US Vets TV studios near Washington, D.C. as we continue with the Veteran Entrepreneurship Training Series number 5 webcast. And want to thank our sponsors again, Serena Washington and Washington Defense and Armando over there at HCI Integrated Solutions. If you're looking for partners, they're great partners also, all verified, Serena Service Disabled, a veteran-owned company. So keep those people in mind because they support the series so we can bring this valuable information to you. So right now I want to introduce Rusty Robinson, who's president and founder of Performance 360. Rusty is the founder and provides executive business consulting, training, and coaching. He has extensive experience in IT service management, process improvement, project management, leadership development and coaching, team building, organizational assessments, strategic planning, and training development. He's a retired fire control senior chief of 22 years in the U.S. Navy, and I know how hard those guys work as a former Naval Reserve lieutenant myself. So, Rusty, give us a perspective of what you do at Performance 360.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. Mostly in 3 particular areas. The first one is focusing on a framework for organizational excellence, helping leaders develop a strategy for performance excellence around 7 particular areas: leadership, systems, strategy, and strategic planning, customer and market focus, knowledge management, workforce focus, and operations. And that's following the framework for the Baldrige criteria.
Just want to touch base, Rena. Are you sharing your slides with us?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Thanks. Sorry.
But I will. So I met, there are, excuse me, a couple other areas of focus for the business, and that is around IT service management, primarily helping organizations with ServiceNow implementation as a, excuse me, a business process consultant, and working on strategies to implement the platform. So I met I met Al back in July and August timeframe. I had my business kind of parked for a while and brought it back. And Al mentioned about getting certified. So in the state of California, I'm a certified small business and a disabled veteran business enterprise. But I didn't know about SDVOSB, and so Al encouraged me to register, and I'm going to go ahead and do my slide share, and you should be able to see my slides. Let me do. So can you see those okay?
Yeah, they look great. Thanks.
All right, great. Well, let me kind of start here. Like I mentioned, Al encouraged me to go through the process to get verified as SDVOSB. And so I wanted to walk through a couple slides that walk through the process for what I did. So we're going to cover kind of the process, getting your documentation together, the online process, working with your advisor, which is really critical, and then some final steps. And so as I pursued this, the first thing you have to do is register with VetBiz. There's the website. When you go to register, you will get this as your next step, and that's creating a user account as a business owner, and it walks you through the steps and what's required. Below this, on the next screen, is the process overview. So for anybody that's listening right now that wants to go through this process, this is what you will follow. This is how all the vets go through to get registered. You've got your business information that you have to submit. There's a verification process, and then final steps in the assessment, and then you get your registration number as a verified disabled veteran. So this is really key and really important to understand the process. Now there's a lot of steps that are involved to help us as veterans. There's this view required documents. When you click that, I would encourage everyone to review that page and this is what you will see. So at the top, you have all the required documents that you are required to provide depending on your business type. In my case, I'm a sole proprietor. And so these are the documents starting with license and your resume and your tax forms. So all of these categories are indicated. And one of the things that Al had mentioned to me was, he said, Rusty, create folders on your, My Documents or on your desktop. Create the folders and start depositing your documentation in those folders. So this is what is going to be required for you as a small business. And then over on the left-hand side, depending if you're limited, LLC or C Corp, S Corp, sole proprietor, it will change the documents that are required for you. So depending on your focus as a business type, you'll have certain documents. Again, that folder structure is important. That way you can indicate which ones that you are required to have. So the next step is to actually create that user account. When you click that link, you open up the page, and most of this is pretty self-explanatory, right? So as you go through this, what I didn't have was my DUNS number. So right out of the gate, I had a road bump and I needed to get my DUNS number. So I did that. I went out to iUpdate, and there's the website at the top, and I started my process on September 8th. So that was the first thing I needed to get done. And notice the order price, it's $0. There's no cost if you go to the iUpdate for the government customer service site. Some places will charge you a fee to do that, but this was no charge. Submitted the application, and then on September 11th, I got my approval. I got my number that's indicated right here. So that gave me everything that I needed to then follow the next steps of the process, and that was to submit my registration. So it took me 3 days to get my DUNS number. So that got me to the next step, and that was basically doing my registration, which I submitted on September 11th. And then the first correspondence that I received back was on September 20th, and that was the welcome letter. And that's in that process flow, 1 through 8, all those steps. This is exactly what happened for me. Got the welcome letter, and in that, this is important because it lays out all the documents that you will need specifically for your business. So I went through that process. When you have that completed on September 28th, I also received the notification that I've been moved to the pre-application award. In that, you're going to get a questionnaire. It's about 4 pages. You need to fill that out online and submit that. Once you do that and submit that, you are ready for full review. And again, all that happened on September 28th, just within 1 day. So pretty quick turnaround time. And again, this is a checklist of everything that you need to work on. So this really started the process over the next month of providing your business license, any professional certifications that you might have, any credentials, degrees that will help with your business and indicating your professional services or products that you provide. Provide all that. Put all that in those folders that you have available. They want to look at your history as a business owner and what certifications that you have. Your bank signature card. I bank with Navy Federal Credit Union. Did not have a bank signature card. I went to the credit union, told them what I needed. They sent an email to their customer service center. That happened on Friday. On Monday, I received that. and I was able to upload that and address that issue. Community property in California is a 50-50 state. You need to be at least 51% veteran-owned business. So there was another waiver that needed to be supplied. My wife signed it, I signed it, and then we submitted, uploaded that document. The tax forms, you will need to provide all of your tax forms for the past 3 years of operating your business. That was a lesson learned for me. I had taken out a couple areas that were just basically for the business out of my 1040 and the forms that I had submitted. You need everything, including your W-2, so don't forget those. And then your last 5 contracts and proposals. And there's other items on the list as well, and you'll know what those are. But get all your documents together. What Al mentioned about setting up the folders, I found very helpful for me. It helped me get everything that I needed to provide. And then you're uploading the documentation. The other key thing is you're working with an advisor. My advisor was Carly, and she was super helpful. Every time I uploaded everything, she would jump on it, evaluate it, kind of see where things were at, give me a call or send me an email and let me know what was deficient or if everything was in order. If there was something that I needed to provide, I would know what that is. I would get back with her, submit a LOE, which is a letter of explanation, and then provide all that to her, upload everything into the system, and then that's the way the process kind of flows. So over that period of time, that is what transpired. And then on October 24th, I got the email that I've been wanting to see, and that is that your application has moved to the decision stage. So at that point, your advisor has uploaded everything, your caseworker, if you will, everything into the system, verified everything, and make sure that all of our ducks are in a row. And then at that point, she said it would take probably a couple weeks for reply from the VA. So if you notice on here, I received this at 7:08 on October 24th. 3.5 hours later, I received my approval. It was that fast. I received the letter, I got my determination, and that happened on October 24th. So from September 8th to October 24th, that whole process took about 45 days from start to finish. And what you will get as now verified is when you log into your VIP and into your account summary, you get your registration status here as verified. And then that's good for a 3-year period of time, and then you have to renew at that point. So when you log in, now a couple other steps that I'll wrap up. One of them is your account detail page. This is what you need to, now that you are in the system, you are verified, you need to fill out the last pieces of your profile with your business type, your financial data, your capabilities, any business relationships that you might have. And then the relevant documents are all those things that you have uploaded and submitted and been verified. So once you've gone through that whole process, what I found is the other really key thing that you need to think about as you do this is your capabilities statement and your keywords. So this should indicate really what your business is all about in your narrative. So think about that as a veteran, as you have your business. Think through a couple things that I think will be helpful: your mission, your vision, your core values, your products and services. And it was good to bounce this against Al, for example, who helped me with some of the keywords. But you want to have that narrative and those keywords together as that builds out your profile and everything about your business as a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business. So that is my slide deck, and let me exit out of my screen share. Okay. So that was a high level view of what, for me, what I needed to do to go through the process. And from start to finish, it was 45 days.
It's amazing, Rusty. Phenomenal work there, and it was one of the best presentations I've seen about going through that process. Al, do you have any questions for Rusty?
Yes, Rusty, first and foremost, you just explained the simplicity. And I speak to a lot of veterans, and they do the TMI, too much information. The emphasis on the folders is as important. Rusty didn't demonstrate the numbering on the website, but it starts with some number and ends with another number. You want to create those folders associated, because when Rusty reapplies in 2020, and this is what I do, is I replicate that original folder to the re-verification and update it with new information. What a lot of folks don't realize, the question that follows on your re-verification is, has anything changed? And this thing called detailed letter of an explanation, example resumes. Instead of resubmitting your resumes in 2020, Rusty would put a DLE, resumes have not changed, period. So thank you, Rusty. The question I have for you is, 45 days is probably the record turnaround in this verification process. We have members now that are taking longer than 90 days and sometimes over a year. In your opinion, why do you think that might be the case? What are they doing wrong in your mind?
Well, one of the things that I found helpful, if you go out to the website at the lower portion of the site, there are some resources and some helps. There's I don't know what it's called, but it's basically the VIP process. There's a slide deck that walks you kind of through everything that you need to follow. That was very helpful. Stay on top of it. Just, as you go through the process, those 8 kind of areas will walk you through step by step what you have to accomplish. I found working with Carly, my advisor, she was very helpful, very friendly, gave me good advice, and was very responsive to the documentation and the things that I needed to upload, and kind of communicated with me as I went through everything. So at the same time I did that, I also got small business and DVB certified through the state of California. So for me, it flowed really nice.
Quick question, Al. You mentioned about this 3-year renewal, or I don't know how long the renewal is. In 3 years, Rusty's going to have to renewal. What is that process compared to with the original process? Can you give us an overview?
My renewal is next year. The VA extended from 2 years to 3 years. Initially, my expiration was June of this year. Now it's June of next year. And all I got to do come next year as a corporation, not a sole proprietor, is upload the taxes from the previous to the current. And let's say I don't have my 2017 taxes for whatever reason in June. Business taxes are done March of every year. But let's say I extend it to October and I don't have that. So what I would upload in this particular scenario is a DLE saying, I have not filed my 2017 taxes as of this date, end of story. I'll have to provide it the next time. So when you look at those folders that Rusty suggested that it's associated with your business type, it's business cards, your business license. I have to upload the new one. I just paid for my 2018 license. So you're just refreshing the data that's in resident with the VA website. If nothing has changed, you say so. You don't need to add because you think they want it. They want to make sure that we are still established. We are running our business. And even if you have a negative business tax year, It just means you have a business tax year that's gone bad, and you upload that tax year. The key factor for renewal is refreshing your data from the last time. In my case, it'd be 3 years ago to this current year. So I'll need 3 years worth of taxes, my new business license, a new lease if it's not expired. And I'll emphasize that because my lease did expire during these past 2 years, and it's a now 5-year lease. So I have to upload that. That's good for 5 years. So those little things that when you look at your profile, what has changed and what needs to be updated, and that turns around within 30 days every time I renew.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate that explanation.